All right, man. Let's talk about another big flip on the day, man. Jadon Perlotte, initially a Georgia commit, then flipped to USC and made his last flip of the day on National Signing Day to the Tennessee Volunteers. I feel like it fits him pretty well, man. And when you look at the class and what they've built at that linebacker role, they got a pretty good one, man. They got Christian Gass as well, who's another pretty outstanding linebacker to pair along with a Jadon Perlotte at 6'4", 205. Now, he's highly rated, four-star prospect. We look at 247 rankings. They got him as high as, I think, number 28 linebacker. I think number 208 in the nation. Heavily recruited. Could really go anywhere, man. He's one of those rare players. And I just go back to a story when I remember seeing him play. He was playing, I think it was OT7, or he was playing in one of those leagues, and he was a linebacker guarding tight ends and receivers. Now, you don't see that very often, at that level and being able to be that impactful. But he was able to do that, and I think that's when he initially caught my eye. And he's just explosive, man. Like, he flies around to the football, has really good instincts, man, reads the field well, can fill the gaps in the run game. Sideline to sideline. You could bring him on blitzes. He disrupt and affect the passer. He could play coverage, as I talked about earlier, with guarding different tight ends. Now, receivers consistently, that's an interesting thing. But when he was playing OT7, he was guarding them with regularity and was making impact plays. So I think this is a really good get for their program, for Tennessee and what they're trying to do. And they got a lot going for them. You know what I'm saying? This is another pretty good class by them, I think, humbly. But we look when you look at what he can bring to the table, he's gonna be another one of those kind of explosive plays. Now, it's gonna be interesting to see how early on he's able to play. But I mean, this class of linebackers is really elite. Like, and they recruited hard in the Georgia area, so that could tell you how they feel about Georgia linebackers in Tennessee. Right now, we already talked about obviously Perlotte. Right, then we talked about Christian Gass. We also got Jadon Harmon, who was a preseason Mr. Georgia nominee as well, and he's explosive in what he can do, and be that kind of prototypical linebacker. And Rome asked him to do a lot of things as well. So I think this could be one of the best linebacking cores you could potentially see, just coming into this class. I mean, all of those guys are 4 stars, and they're all highly rated. It can do a lot of different things well, and they all have their own strengths. So when we look at Tennessee, it's been probably known for their offense. But if their defense can be kind of that top 15, top 20 type of unit, with what they've been doing in this class, I think they definitely can bring it home, right? Getting Sidney Walton's another one out of Moody. He's playing for a state championship tomorrow night. And then we look at Ulster class, also getting Isaiah Campbell. He's another really good one. That I think is going to be, big time for them on the interior. Marion Day, is another one. So they got guys that they brought in, and I really like the quarterback George McIntyre, seeing him at the UA camp. So I think Tennessee did a really good job bringing in this class, and Perlotte is going to be one of those guys, those signal callers, and I think he could be aggressive. Now, I would not be surprised with his ability to rush the passer if they have him as outside linebacker. And they might even put him into a role of a little bit of a hybrid. That's how elite this guy can potentially be, right? They might have him rushing off the edge, you know what I'm saying, and put his hand in the ground. They could have him in some packages where he's guarding, slot receivers. It's just going to be really intriguing to see. So I think he's going to fit into that defense for Josh Heupel really well, and really fit this program and what they're trying to do and build. And they're right in that conversation. They gonna make the college football playoff, and it's gonna be interesting. The first opponent is not gonna be easy, nonetheless. But this is how you have a good recruiting class. Now, no 5 stars for Tennessee. I think the only one would be David Sanders, who has not signed his letter of intent just yet. I think he's kind of mulling over Tennessee and obviously Ohio State. But that would be a big get. They're only 5-star in this class. But nonetheless, this is still a very impressive class. You add Travis Smith Jr. in there, one of the best receivers here in Georgia. Led the state in receiving yards. He's explosive. Pair him with a Mike Matthews in the future. You're looking at a really good class, man, and over the past few years. So Tennessee is going to continue to be a program to watch for, man. And later, Landon Perlotte only adds to that, and flipping him and keeping him not too far from home, because Knoxville, Tennessee ain't that far from Georgia when you compare it to all the way to Southern California, which is way, way out there, man. So great job by Tennessee recruiting. I think they got one of the best linebacking cores. And when you look at this 2025 class in the country, and they're going to be a team to watch.